Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again. It's a brand new week, and it is the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. Wherever you are, good day to you. Hope that you're keeping safe and whatever it is that you're doing, it is to the benefit of the world because we must be able to make a positive benefit. We should be able to help our brothers and sisters and not just about ourselves. The world is an interconnected place, and if we could do a little something to help each other, it is going to be a much better place. And we would have seen that over the years, and you would have heard philosophers telling you what you should do in order to make this world a better place. And there's something which we could all do is by helping a brother and sister. So I'm going to start you off this week here with that. It is Gildarie, Leonard Gildarie on Wake Up Guyana show, and we coming to you on the biggest radio in Guyana. It's the Kaieteur Radio. And we coming to you from the 24 Saffron Street, Charlestown area here. You could join us on 99.1 in Demerara and in Essequibo, and of course in Berbice, 99.1, 99.5 FM. You could also tune in to Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or you could get us Kaieteur Radio live stream, YouTube. So I want to say good day wherever you are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have many things to tell you this week. I was supposed to be on leave, but of course, you guys have demanded that we are here, that this show do not stop. The show cannot stop. We have to continue. And Raj is looking at me. He said, "Why are you here? You're on leave." Raj, you're not entitled to leave. You just started Kaieteur Radio, so let me make it very clear to him. I think he has the message very, very clear. So let me tell you a couple of things that we should be knowing today. And we will be heading to our biggest newspaper in the land. This is Kaieteur News, and see what are some of the big stories which would have been making the headlines over the weekend there. But right away, there's some of the stories that are touching us this morning here. Is that today is the Teachers' Day, one. So I want to say a happy Teachers' Day, and it would come at a time when our teachers are at a very challenging period. In fact, probably one of the most challenging in all the years. There's no school yet, there's school. And so they'd have to find a way of delivering education to 180 something thousand students in Guyana. And that is being done right now on the internet, via the internet. Some students are getting it, others are getting printouts, and there is major challenges there. So the Teachers' Day is going to come at a time when we are facing the pandemic, which has thrown us into a tailspin. And so if we are going to be dealing with a pandemic and education, there's much work to be done. We're not in the place that we want to be. This morning, we also learned of a tragic death of a nurse who would have been leading, a male nurse, who would have been leading the COVID-19 fight from the front lines. Mark King is dead, according to the news that is coming out now. Would have been a GPHC, well known in the medical field for his long service to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Behalf of Kaieteur Radio, the Kaieteur News, and all the team here. Of course, we never like to see any deaths when it comes to COVID-19 or any death in that matter, but when it comes to our frontline staffers, especially at this critical time. And the tragedy is that he would have become infected at the time when he would have retired after so long in the service of serving in Guyana. So that is one of the big stories there. Also, you would have heard not too long ago during the headlines being read out there, and one of the big stories also that would be affecting the prisons and the inmates that are there. You know that after the Camp Street prisons would have burnt a couple of years back, that's after 2015 during the coalition reign there, they would have shifted many prisoners to different lockups, and the I think it's Luzaknan as well as Mazaruni. So our prisons, the one that were remaining, were under stress. A lot of people overcrowded and so on, and they were looking to build, do the expansion, the capacity of the existing ones. Well, there was a big problem in that every single day police officers and transportation would have had to be with the prisoners back and forth, moving them from lockups to courts, back to the lockups, back to the prisons, and so on. And so today, it is the news that is coming out that they are going to be placing at specific prisons, at the prisons, containerized special containers that has been retrofitted, that has been fixed in such a way that you could be able to put the prisoners in there, and it's going to serve as a kind of a house where you could be able to talk to the courts, not within the prison, but within that particular environment. It's going to have internet, and it's going to have security and so on. So you're going to come down there and you're going to be hearing that. So that's a good thing. So it's going to save money there, and it's also going to be much safer. So that's a big thing. These are the kind of things that we're looking at when you're talking about initiative. But coming to the big initiatives, which has to do with oil. We are going to be looking at that, what the Kaieteur newspaper would have said on Sunday, October the 4th. And this is a Kaieteur newspaper here. They have been leading the way when it comes to enlightening, making aware the people of Guyana with regards to our oil deals, what we are having and what is happening here and how good that we could be. The Kaieteur newspaper has been leading the way with Mr. Leonard in front, ensuring that you get the news and understand what is happening here, what is happening to our wealth. And so the demand of environmental permit, Exxon must compensate any nation affected by Payara oil spill. And this is a very, very good thing, because we would have been talking about if there's an oil spill, Guyana would have been end up holding the check at the end of the day. It would have had to issue a check paying any other countries that would have been affected by this oil spill. We have an agreement, the government has made them, and this is a good thing on behalf of government, having Exxon understand that they would have to pick up the bill for this, not Guyana. You're the one who's operating it. Why are we paying the bill? So the first two, which is Liza 1 and 2, they have, we left hole in the bill right now. I'm not sure whether we could do anything at this point in time. The conversation continues. Who's inheriting our wealth? And this is an interesting story. And the Kaieteur lead on Sunday. Our parents died and left her 10 properties for us. The 7 children, Dickie, the eldest child, was left in charge of the family estate. 6 months after the death of the parents, Dickie informed us he sold one of the prime properties for $10 million. We surprised and asked him if that was the best deal he would have gotten. He replied saying, yes, that was the best offer. A few days after, the brothers and sisters found out that the property he sold was valued more than $100 million. I stopped right there and then. I think you get the gist. Did we get the best deal when we gave out 2 oil blocks to somebody, persons that had very little track record, or maybe we could have given it to some other persons if the system or the procedures, the procurement system was open there. So this story here, who's inheriting our wealth, is very, very timely and is asking some very hard questions there. And you should read it. You could go on Kaieteur News online.com and you could be able to get it there, or pick up your copy of the Kaieteur News, ask us and we could be able to send it. It's there. It's very shareable and you could read it, sit down and digest it, because it tells you very much what our authorities should be doing, what our government should be doing. Legalizing stolen assets, conning politicians use crooked middlemen to hold, receive, or transfer stolen state assets. For example, politicians would have some of the shady friends establish shell companies, information about which the public cannot access. These companies would then be handed oil blocks or given other state assets. In the past, bribes were paid onto politicians' secret bank account or that of their relative. With stricter anti-money laundering and transparency laws, these bribes are now easily detectable. Corrupt politicians have therefore devised more elaborate schemes to legalize proceeds from corrupt dealings. And it's very, very clear. If you open a company, you get a contract that becomes kind of legal. So this is what the story is saying there. Rape accounts, and so you need to read these stories here. You need to start thinking, instead of you calling Gildarie or the Kaieteur Radio talking about what you should be getting and things like that. Let's start fighting. You see those people that block the road over in Berbice there? They're fighting for something, and by their one action, that action there, whether it's illegal or not, it's sending a very, very clear message. But we know that criminals are involved in that, because there could be no other. I saw a video of somebody trying to ride past some of the fires that were lit on the West Berbice Road yesterday, and somebody tried to kick a motorcyclist off the bike, and that is something, I look at it and says, why in this day and age could you say that these are legitimate protesters or criminals who want to hurt people, destroy people, rob them? Rape accounts for two-thirds of cases in Demerara Supreme Court. And so, this is something they would have seen, the authorities would have been reporting under this pandemic. There's a growing incidence of rape cases, sexual assaults, and other things that would be recorded by the police force. Exxon must install meter to record all toxins from flaring. This is a very good development as well. EPA tells oil giant to complete study on re-injecting 100% of reservoir water. Not a very good story here that our authorities are saying to Exxon, it's not business as usual. You should be doing things that is going to be protecting us, and make sure that you give us these studies so we can make those decisions with regards to what you need to do. Oil costs must be audited, only a matter of time. This is Vice President by Jagdeo, and we need to do this early because we've been handed bills. We don't know. Imagine somebody give you a bill for $10 million when the car is worth $3 million. That's what it's tantamount to. So if you're not questioning the $10 million, you got to be a fool. It can't be anything else. Alleged Ponzi schemers halt Operation 10 to start paying investors from October the 12th. This is Yuri Garcia Dominguez back in the news again. 8+ charges facing him and his wife, Atika Sam Ishmael. And so they would have been able to post bail. You'd recall that they were slapped with charges after being accused of taking money from 17,000 persons and investing it in what they said was foreign trading. However, the police are saying that it was all a fraud, and they charged them 80+ charges. So they were able to post bail, come out and says that we're going to start paying persons from October the 12th, and then whatever those persons who complain against us, so the court would have to decide whether they go ahead with the court cases or we find some other mechanism in which they could get their money. But in the meantime, that's an interesting story there. Let's see if some resolutions is coming. We're hearing about another Ponzi scheme. We're not sure about that. But your biggest newspaper, Kaieteur News today, in the October the 5th edition, this is what it has to say. I'm reading them to you because you must know what are some of the news that should be affecting you or are affecting you. Jagdeo commits to releasing oil permits. APNU AFC kept hidden. Very good, Mr. Jagdeo. Nigeria's failure to review lopsided deals lead to loss of $28.6 billion. Do you understand what's $28.6 billion US dollars? I have absolutely no idea what $1 billion US dollars. But what I could tell you, $1 billion US dollars is what we would have been, what was suggested for us to build a Mile Falls. 165 megawatts of that was what it would have cost. So if you're looking at 28, you're talking about 28 a Mile Falls. If you're looking at $28 billion, let's say at $300 million for a harbor bridge across the Demerara River, you're talking 3 harbor bridges for $1 billion. You multiply that by 3 by 28, that's 33. You're going to get about 80 harbor bridges across the Demerara River, or maybe you could bridge the Essequibo. How many times there? 30 times, maybe. I'm just calling these figures here so you could understand what $28 billion that we're talking about here. We could build overpass, underpass, on the tunnel, all kind of things here. So Nigeria's failure to review lopsided deal lead to loss of $28.6 billion over the year. So let us get the thing that is, get it right. Retrofit containers to be established at prisons to conduct virtual hearings. We did talk about that. Prisoners will no longer be transported to court. Government slashes transportation costs for Wakenham rice farmers. I understand that Minister of Public Works, Deodat Indar, would have gone to Wakenham, and the people complain about the high cost, and they're talking about the ferries and so on. So they're saying that we're going to subsidize it, or we're going to allow you, we're going to work with you here, and they're going to save some time and money there. And let's see how that goes. Minister just stresses timely completion during visit to Region 5 defense works. And so when you're spending money, you want to make sure that the contractors deliver on time too, and within budget. We can't have those things going on in the past, all kinds of excuses. And the people of Guyana, while we're looking at the front door to see how our monies are being spent, billions being slipped out through the back door. Pay attention, folks. West Coast Berbice villagers to protest again. Gruesome murder thing. We did talk about that yesterday. We did talk about that today. and they lit fires, and the police were able to clear the road. But I don't understand, because the family says they know that there's an investigation. We've asked for international help. The people are coming in, and they come in here. The forensic investigators are coming here. EITI, this is the body, the regulator that looks at the extractive industries, and they've released new reporting guidelines for companies buying oil and gas and minerals. So this is very, very good thing that we should be paying attention to. UG opening moved to November the 2nd to accommodate more applications, and for all the students who wanted to know time, I think within the next couple of weeks we're going to see secondary schools are going to be opened, maybe via not physically, but you could do online and so on. I think my little daughter today, she was able to register at Bishop's there, so things are happening there. And UG here is saying that November 2nd to accommodate more applications. So let us see in a very short while. Let's see if there's some other news that you should be made aware of. But that big story is still rattling in my head there. Nigeria's failure to review lopsided deals lead to loss of 28.6 billion. Can't even begin to contemplate what kind of money that we're talking about here. There's two stories, or stories that you should be knowing here. Former Health Ministers Leslie Ramsamy, Barry Ramsam, appointed as Minister of Health Advisor, Ministry of Health Advisors. So that's an interesting story there. This morning, we are in our 80s. We're going on almost 90 deaths as we speak here right now. We are going to be touching 100 deaths. And I'm going to be very frank with you. One of the big things, I have no issues with our place being open, or I have a problem with the police and the other authority who are supposed to be enforcing. I received some complaints that not too far from the Charity police station, big wake house and the police right there, and nobody is saying anything, and they, big bacchanal going on. Yesterday I went down in Grove, and all the rum shops and all the bars are open, and pool stable knocking and everything, and everybody having a nice time. People are close to each other, nobody wearing masks. Hotels, I understand that Princess Casino opened back, and things are happening. I don't have an issue with things, but with business running, we can't stop that. It's the government who decides that. What I have a problem with, what are you doing about enforcement? Who's enforcing? So while we closing everything and telling the shops to close everything here, we are seeing other businesses are opening, and yes. So in the meantime, there, while we've seen everything that is being told to close, we've seen business that is non-essential, like casinos, hotels, and pools, and so on, being open, and people are continuing to do what they're supposed to be doing as if it's normal time. And we are going to continue to see the deaths that are going to rise. We are going to continue to see our people in hospital. Right now, there's very little space that's available. If you get COVID-19, if you're infected, they tell you to stay home, be in isolation, because there's no space anywhere around the area. The hospitals are overflowing. The isolation places are overflowing. They had to move prisoners down to Madawini there. And so they're telling you to stay home. So imagine what is happening. And it's not only Guyana, it's all over the world. But we could do so much better if we pay attention and, stop doing what we're supposed to do. There's absolutely no need to go to a rum shop on a Sunday or Saturday or any day period to be drinking or playing pools. We're not supposed to be doing that. We miss it, yes. I miss playing pools. But it's not a day to be doing that. So I want to say good day. It's a Wake Up Guyana show right across, so wherever you are. I want to say welcome. And we are going to be opening those lines in a very, very short while. What we could tell you, let me see if there's any news that I missed there. The CANU, Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit, they're saying that their former chief, James Singh, he is going to be returning there if he's not already returned. This morning, I received some calls from Berbice. The Berbice people are taking licks. If you're listening, GPL, what is happening to you, GPL? Something is happening up in Berbice. They're saying you have as much as 20 hours per day blackout. And if you don't get a blackout, you have low voltage. One businessman told me that instead of taking maybe one shipment of oil for his generators per month, now he's forced to do 2 per week. That's because they're not getting a regular flow of electricity to that area where East Berbice quarantine area. So if there's something going on, you need to issue statements. You're not doing that GPL. You need to get your act together. If you're listening, Chevron Sears Murray, what's happening? The chairman of the board. What's happening? Their CEO, Mr. Albert Gordon. You guys need to come out and say something to the people up in Berbice. They're complaining. I want to say good day to the folks down in Essequibo. I want to say good day to the people in Perica, the people in Supernam there. What is happening down in Charity and Regina? A good day. Down at the back there in Lake, the Kapoi area there, Lake Mainstay, Wayaka area. Good day to you. Wherever you are, if I have missed you, Henrietta, how you doing? Cross at Fort Island, Wakenham, down in Caracara, I think it is. And so we go up to Bartica and Linden along the East Bank, Diamond Grove, Providence, the back farm. How you doing? I want to say good day to the East Coast folks, the folks down at Mahika, Maikoni area, West Berbice. Make sure that you don't block the road today. You're doing a disservice to yourself, to the rest of the country, not doing what we're supposed to be doing. So let's get right down into it. It's 622, 622. That is the number. That is the number that you should be texting us your messages. I did receive a lot of messages from you guys over the weekend, and we're working on, you know what, a couple of families there are going to be benefiting. And so we're not going to talk about that because we're working very hard on that. Expect some calls from us. Not going to talk a little anymore about that. But 2267453, 2267453. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you with regards to. I don't see. 1 second there. By the time I think Raj is going to help me. Okay, good. So CARICOM General Insurance, a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM Get General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. So in the meantime, let us go right back. We are going to be opening these lines. I want to hear from you guys. I'm on vacation now, you know. I want to hear from you how you're doing. I don't want to hear. If you hear Mr. Lal call for me, tell him I'm not available. I'm officially on leave. I think Raj is shaking his head in a very uncertain way. I don't know what he means by that. I think he doesn't want to talk to Mr. Lal. Mr. Lal is not as bad as he looks, you know. He's a good man. He looked very fearsome. You know, he wants to fight with you all the time. He doesn't really, it's just that he wants to ensure that you get the message, and he has no friends when it comes to doing his newspaper business. So if you look at him and you're scared, don't be scared. I'm not scared. The only thing that I'm scared is when I go ask him, Mr. Lal, could I have a raise, please? I'm saying it openly on radio because I'm on leave at the moment. So we're going to have a chat about that. So it's 62222. Send us those messages there. And you could also start calling us right now, 2267453. Tell us what's bothering you. I know what's bothering me. I don't know what's bothering you today. So let's hear from you today. Do we have another call? Yes, a call is already there. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Kaieteur. Where to get answer?
Yes.
I got a problem, man. I get the light bill. $36,000, and which my light bill don't come $3,000. I don't know where I get it to put in. I call from SPQ on the spring yard. I'm a single parent. I had 3 energy saving bulb. I have a TV. I ain't doing no business. I have a poor room. I don't know where I get $36,000 to put on my bill.
How much does normally get? How much does normally get a bill for?
I used to pay 2,000 or 2,500. So I used to pay. Now it's gone 46,000. I don't know where I get it from.
I don't know. I can tell you.
I didn't get the phone in the direction. I mean, getting on to them.
All right, I can give you a number. Right now, it's at the PR department. I'm tired because they always tell you, call this number, call that number. And they said, please wait while we try to get an operator and all kind of nonsense. So let me tell you how we're going to do it. 225-1471. 225-1471. That is GPL PR department.
Can you please type it for me?
Type it.
No, I'm going to get it.
225
225
1471.
1471. 7.
Yes, ma'am. That's the PR department of GPL. You tell them that you call Kaieteur Radio and Gildarie give you that number, because if you call in the other numbers and you're not getting on, well, the next thing that we're going to do, because these guys work for us, right? The company belongs to us, so they got to look after you guys. So I don't think I'm going to be very good friends with them at the moment. That's okay, though.
Okay, good. Take care. Welcome.
Where you calling from, you said?
I call from Spring Garden and the Executive because
All right, ma'am. You getting us loud and clear there?
yeah, getting a lot. I listen to you every day, but when I call, I don't get. So I ask my wake up in the morning, put on your radio till in the night.
All right, very good, dear. So you
How you
cooking
doing?
today? What are you cooking?
No, I just come out outside from the house to call you.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant rest of the day. So I want to
Okay.
say, right, I want to say good day to the folks down in Essequibo there again. I know that you guys, those in the rice field, if you're listening and you're tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, make sure that you stay safe, wear your hat, to drink a lot of water. Make sure you take your vitamin C if you don't have vitamin C in the tablet form. Take some lime, make some swank, drink it in very strong doses. Stay away from too much sugar, not good. So at the end of the day, you could say that I did something to better protect myself. Not doing anything is not an option, and especially if you have any underlying conditions, diabetes, whatever it is, it complicates, it could kill you. COVID-19 is here to stay. You could do the madness that everybody is doing on the road there, and they're going to end up in hospital. It's only when you hear it and you know it and you feel it, that's when you're going to be able to have the lessons be in there. I don't know how to say it to the people of Guyana in any other less harsh manner. At the end of the day, if you have a loved one who is in the hospital, who is suffering, and you see the pain that they're going through, Donald Trump, the president of the most powerful state in the entire world, is in the hospital. He's been brought to his knees by COVID-19. At least that's what the story says. Some other person saying that it's not true, whatever is happening. But Donald Trump was taken to the Walter Reed Hospital, and he's been treated, and they're worried about him. He's in his 70s. He is overweight, obese, and they're wondering how good. But he has access to some of the best medicines in the entire world. And I did read, keeping very close attention to some of the things what they were giving him. Said they gave him a cocktail of drugs, and that is a mixture of different medicines. Not a lot of persons in Guyana could afford what he has been given there, but he's the president of the United States. So wherever you are, thank you for tuning in to us here, especially those folks there in the United States, in New York, in Canada, Toronto, and wherever you're tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. I want to say good day. Europe, Caribbean, our next door neighbor. I want to say good day. I received a call from a good gentleman, a friend of mine back in St. Martin, no other than businessman Imran Maksud. And I know that he's gearing to come to Guyana. He wants to come back and do something for his people here. And if you don't know, he's of the Nagico Insurance. If you're a cricket lover, you know that Nagico Insurance would have been one of the big sponsors of cricketers. So he did call me today. I want to say good day to you guys here. Many Guyanese living over in St. Martin there. And so we go back to the lines. Do we have a caller on the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
How you doing? Go right ahead, sir.
Not too bad. Mr. Gildarie, since June month, my phone cut off.
Yes.
I can't put it on now. They say, yeah, apply online, I think the 25th of July.
25th of
I apply
July.
online and until now the phone can't come on.
Which area is this?
Albion.
Where? Albion?
Berbice.
Like they
Yes.
forget Albion. This is not the first time that I'm receiving complaints that the people in Albion, whenever they complain about a problem, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm gonna have to start giving out the people's cell number from GT&T because I'm not sure what else to do. The people are paying. Did you try talking to the PUC?
No, I didn't get any number for them, you know.
All right, 1 second. Let me just give you. Could you hold the line, please, and let me see if I could get a number there for you, and let us we take it from there. I'm going to give you a number to the Public Utilities Commission, and they could probably be able to assist you there. Public Utilities Commission there. All right. Do I have a number? Oh yes, 226-7042
226-7042,
or 227.
227,
You up in Berbice there, right?
yeah,
336
336
6077.
6077. Okay.
Call that number there and let's see what they can do for you.
Okay, very. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. So this is, in the meantime, somebody is writing on our Facebook here. Hi Leonard, good afternoon. My husband is a pensioner. He went to GWI to put a water meter in his name. And they told him that he has to get a letter from a JP. We did pay that for $2,500 for the change of name. And then they called me and tell me he cannot get a bill in his name because his name is not on the transport. It's in my name. Can you see what you can do for us, please? GWI dear. The PR department. I'd have to get a number for the PR department. Could you call the public relations department at GWI there and tell them that you got on to us? If you're listening, this person's one of our listeners here. If you're listening to us, tell them that you spoke to Kaieteur Radio and let us see where that goes from there. Because we got to put them to the test. We got to call them. And eventually, if you see they don't answer the phone or they're too busy, we're going to start to have to give out these numbers here because they are the public relations people. And if you can't give service one other way, we're going to find the service the other way. Drastic measures here that we are going to have to be doing very shortly. So I'm going to ask Raj to get right back into the lines. And then after that awards, we are going to go right back. Good afternoon, caller, you on the air. Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Good, good. This is Councillor McDougall.
McDougall, how are you doing? Yes, how are you doing, sir?
I'm not bad. I get to hear you get through with the people from the ministry or GRA concerning this problem of the back child support, as I call it.
The what support?
The back child support, as I call it.
Okay, just remind me, this has to do with the vehicle over the years?
Yes.
I did mention it over the radio. I spoke to Mr. Godfrey Stasher, and I did address that issue. This is what he had to say. I asked him, sir, people have been complaining that they're not using the vehicle on the road, yet you're charging them. And that is what I said to him. Mm-hmm. He says, sir, if you know that the vehicle is going to be down, you need to tell us from before. You cannot come after the fact and tell us. That's what he says. But he indicated, made it very clear. He says, Mr. Gildarie, that the system that we have, we do have a system or a measure in GRA to deal with those issues, but it has to be before. It cannot be after. Because we have no way. We have no way of verifying. That's what he said to me.
I would be glad for Mr. Stasher to come on your radio. Let me talk to him because you wouldn't be able to answer the question or the issue. But Mr. Stasher, that excuse is for adults, not me, not for people out there who have some sort of brain. Mr. Stasher cannot say that you have to come before and let your vehicle and know that your vehicle is going to be down and tell him. It still does not make the vehicle not be down, whether it's before or after. When you come before and say that's not going to make the vehicle down or not. You have a vehicle, it has not. This is the issue. Simple. The vehicle is there. It's not being used on the road, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta go. There are lots of places that you could go to find facts. The licensing office with the police, they could prove this vehicle or these vehicles or this person's vehicle never had a fitness license. Mm-hmm. They never go to the police station to get fitness. Mm-hmm. Insurance companies, you see if they had linked up in insurance companies, they would know insurance. You ask them, no, we never had. Right? We never got this customer with his vehicle. There are ways to find, plus the photographs that I send them to show evidence of the parts that were changed out. Regardless of all of that, there's supposed to be a proper system where when this thing, all I'm asking, waiver it. Stop this nonsense. This is fleecing the public. Mm-hmm. Stop it. So regardless of what excuse Station gives, it ain't going to be. The one thing Station needs to say, and I'm going in for, okay, it's a policy, and we're going to scrap it. The same way, you see GRA greedy. GRA used to give people TIN numbers when I first immigrated and come to this country. Mm-hmm. For $0, Mr. Gildarie. Somehow they had a meeting, and it come up that guess what, we could make some more money. We can charge $1,000 now for issuing TIN numbers, and $2,000 for replacing last TIN numbers. Mm-hmm. Okay, point I'm making here is they could find a way in the meetings how to get money from us, right? But they can't find a way in the meeting to find it feasible to waiver that. And feasible means that GRA stands to lose more when it comes to these vehicles being pent up and then people ain't paying nothing because, as I said before, my vehicle have about 15 years more. Let me do some little maths. 15 years more on the road. It's $15,000 per year to insure the vehicle. To put it not insured, to put it on the road with GRA, right?
Mm-hmm.
I owe it for 6 years, $90,000. Now, if I were to get that waived and this vehicle was to go back on the road for the next 15 years, 15 by 15 is how much? 15 by 5 is 75. 15 1 is 15 and 7 is 22. It's 200 something thousand. They, or is it 2 point something million? 200 something thousand. I'm doing it out of my head, right?
Yes,
that
yes.
they stand to gain. To lose 90,000, they could gain that. Should that vehicle not go on the road forever? Because if I'm stubborn enough, I don't want it on the road. I'm paying nothing. They stand to lose that. Now, be part of that. The administration, along with the policymakers at GRA, is good enough to waive millions of dollars for a vehicle to come in this country. Millions the GRA losing per vehicle to come in. It's called duty-free concession. If they're willing to do that, why can't they be willing to waive a price change?
I hear you. I'm not
There's
sure
so much taxation can't come on this, Mr. Gildarie. I dare anybody from GRA to beat that logic. Come to the radio station and discuss it with us. Come. Don't sit down in the office there and talk about how we must do it before. It's nonsense. This is nonsense. Station got a line, dunce.
I'm going to try to bring him. I'm going to ask him to come on the radio. And maybe what you could do is send me the text, let me have him, and then maybe we could probably have an engagement. Let me try to get him on that.
But you know something, Mr. Gildarie? I'm not going to stop.
No, I don't want you to stop. You have a right to do that.
Well, let's see. Let's see if he's going to take the challenge and come on the radio. He could stay in his office.
I'm going to invite him again.
He could stay in his office and do it virtual.
Yes,
right?
I agree
we could
with you.
do it virtual and let him argue with me. Let him prove to me the validity or the logics behind this policy being continued. Let him prove to me that they are not fleecing the people of this country. They're encouraging people to bring vehicles here, people that are foreign-based. A person foreign-based is not going to stay here all the time, or the vehicle is going to stay here all the time. I mean, to be paid all the time. They're going to go and come, they're going to go and come. And at times, they're going to be out of the country for years. Come on now, man. They got nothing in place for these vehicles to be, for this policy to be removed and let people, you tell me about come before. Okay, let me say we come before. This is coronavirus, COVID-19 time. A person happened to have flown out before March. Didn't know that's going to come down upon us. And has to stay in the States now by force, or Canada, wherever they come from. By force, and this thing go on for years. What happened? Could they have predicted they coming back to Guyana, or, you know?
I hear you, and it's a very maddening thing, especially you taking a principled position on it. I understand you there.
Let him come. Let him come, let him call, let him do whatever you want. The bottom line is, and Mr. Stacia, if it's a policy, there are higher people than him. Every boss have a boss. And the people, his boss might be Ministry of Finance. If somebody at Ministry of Finance hear this over and over and do something about it, because it is unfair for the government or the administration to be continuing this policy when they're wavering billions in motor vehicle duty-free concession. They're losing there. They're making no money there. But we left back here because the vehicle ain't on the road, ample facts put forward to them as evidence to waiver it. Or even, now I'm asking for a waiver. But soon I'm going to ask it to be totally voided. The whole policy should be voided. It is wrong to the people to be charging money for the vehicles not being on the road, and now you want to put it back on the road to tell you pay for all the time. Like I give you the gasoline analogy. Right? If you go into a gas station and buying gas every week, $5,000 in your car, but suddenly you change from Guyana to Shell, and you're buying it for 6 months. When you go back to Guyana because the money must say, or you're passing Guyana, they can tell you, pay for all the time that you didn't buy gas, eh?
Right. All right, I hear you. I'm going to try to do that, and then let's see if there's an engagement that works. Let me see if he takes the chance and the opportunity.
Him or somebody at the Ministry of Finance?
No problem, sir. I'll do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gildarie.
God bless you. Bye-bye. So obviously, everybody has their and this is what this radio program is all about. It may seem a little bizarre, some of the cases that are coming before us, but the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio, it is where you air those grievances, your comments about what is happening. It is nothing too small, nothing too big. That we're going to refuse because it's your show, it's not my show. I'm just a facilitator of it. We are at Kaieteur Radio just facilitating the show. It is your show. It's a Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 FM in Demerara and Esquivel and 99.5 in Berbice. You could also get us on Kaieteur Radio Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Before we go to another call, let me quickly read some messages. Good people have been sending us a lot of messages. Good afternoon. Please highlight the plight of the internet subscribers here. Parents paying for services that are unreliable, a lot of downtime, no rebates, but quick disconnection of payment. And somebody is telling us that from Wakenham, all the way in Wakenham. A good day to you, Wakenham. If you're hearing us loud and clear, say something. But we hear you. And so the people of Wakenham says they're getting lousy, poor services. And whenever you don't pay, they quick to cut you off, but they give you a service that's next to nothing, that is very, very poor and lousy. Good afternoon, Leonard. Please answer my request. I'm a poor woman. I have 3 children. Okay, good. Let me see this one here also. All right. Thank you very much for that. I can't read that online. Good afternoon, Leonard. Can you please explain why these nurses are protesting when the government said they would pay the frontline workers? Is it political motivation? Because that's what it seems. I don't know what to say, but when you see the players that are coming out, and obviously, like I said before, I have a very clear understanding of the hardship that nurses, our frontline workers, and I want to say good day. Today they lost one of their own former nurse, a very senior nurse, a male nurse that would have been around for a long time, very well known at GPHC, Mr. Mark King, died of COVID-19. So COVID-19 does not pick and says, he seems to be a very poor man and he seems to be somebody that we could pick on. No, it picks on any person. If your system is weak or that finds you in that kind of position, it's gonna knock you down and knock him down. They did. That person died, Mark King, and he would have retired not too long ago. And so you don't want to retire, and your family there in mourning right now died at the very hospital. We understand that he would have served for years. It's great to see one of our former ministers and nurse. No wonder why she couldn't perform her duty as a minister. She was seen on Facebook with a placard saying that she was paid $88,000 a month. I'm not sure. I saw the picture. It wasn't Minister Simona Brooms. I'm not sure. They say that she was, but even if that being the case, she's protesting. But it is funny, everybody see things and they do it. Mr. Gildarie, I share your concern about the cavalier response of people to COVID-19. The police obviously in some situations not enforcing the COVID protocols. In such situation, the guilty police should be made to pay a fine for the dereliction of duty. I have a theory, and what I have a theory, maybe the police are going to respond to me, and I'm going to make it very, very clear. It's logical to think that if you have a police station right next door to a rum shop or a bar, and the people and you passing up and down every single day, you know what the authorities have been saying, you know what your superiors have been saying with regards to after 6 o'clock, after 9 o'clock, what you're supposed to do. If you pass and you see the supermarket open after a certain time, you know what you have to do. If you pass and see the bar and everybody in there and you don't say a word, what conclusions should I make? What conclusions could the people of Guyana make? So it is very, very clear that there seems to be a major problem with enforcement in Guyana. Let's don't beat around the bush. Let's say it as it is. And so there could also be conclusions. And the normal man in the street will tell you, not Gildarie saying it. The man in the street is going to tell you, I believe that some policemen taking the payoff because they're not enforcing this thing. I'm not sure who the other authorities. But definitely, if you're passing by the Timeri Susdike Junction there, and a good distance away, maybe a 2 3 blocks away, there is the Marawini outpost there. Everybody knows it. So the Susdike, the Susdike Linden junction there. If you're there and you see the barbecue and the big sessions and all the bikes and the cars and everything, music blasting into the wee hours of the morning, and the policemen are passing up and down and don't do anything, it's not Gildarie saying it. The people out there are saying that somebody being paid off, and they're being paid off by these operators. I'm not calling names, so y'all don't come and sue Gildarie, but it is what it is. And the people complaining. Good afternoon. Anything for the pensioner for any pensioner for GPL? Yes, I think they have made some things within the budget there. I think you should be able to see some benefits from not paying that, so you could apply and see how that goes. And keep me posted what's happening. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. GT&T will be losing lots of customers switching to a network. I can't tell you to switch to another network. I can tell you that Gildarie already started switching it. I'm in a transitionary phase at the moment with regards to a very poor and lousy internet service by one telephone company. You need to get your act together. You have the infrastructure in place. This thing is not hard, you know. You waited too long, you took too much thing, and you kept too quiet. When the people complaining, you kept quiet. When they call in the complaint, you did not even answer them, or you take long to answer them, or you take long to deliver or to address the complaints. So yes, Gildarie is in the transitionary mode of switching right now. I have a backup internet service. You're not going to catch me like that. I'm too smart for you. Good afternoon, Leonard. Can you please tell me when they have to start paying VAT on things like steel? I went to buy some steel and the man charged me VAT. I didn't know this was going on. Thank you very much. I'm not sure either. What I could tell you is that during the budget debate, they're saying that there is going to be some relief on building materials. Building materials would include steel and so on. I could ask what is happening with these building materials and find out whether VAT on steel is something that you should be applying or not applying. Thank you very much for that. Could you tell us when the CXC results are going out? I thought it came out recently. It wasn't CXC results. It came out, and that was a big hullabaloo. That they were talking about that they didn't market properly and so on. So I'm not sure what this person is asking there. Hi, good afternoon. I enjoy your programs. I'd like to know when the data price will drop because I'm using data to do my homework and it's very hard and expensive. Let me answer it this way. The telephone companies, the telecoms operators in Guyana, and the ones that we should be looking at it's right now, it is GT&T, Digicel, and you have another company now that is playing big in this game here, and that is no other than the E-Networks. And they know what are some of the big demands that people are making. Drop the data price and let's see what happens. And maybe this is something that they should be, you could be, for that $500, you could be borrowing so much more and whatever. But at the end of the day, people are complaining it's a big expense on them, and especially if you're using kids and you don't have Wi-Fi at home, and the Wi-Fi is being poor as it is. When the review for our CX is going to be out, I'm going to be asking that to the minister, get back to you on that. My bill came 3 times the normal rate, can't get the GPL. I did tell somebody what is the number there for the PUC not too long ago. Let me get it back for you. It is 226, depends where you're from, 226 7042, 226 7042 for the PUC, or 227 3204, 227 3204. That's for the PUC for that person who's asking. So we go back to the lines. Raj, are you sleeping? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're on to Kaieteur Radio. How are you doing?
Yes, Leonard?
Yes, it is, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk to Leonard after the program on.
Aye. All right. Send me a text right now to 6222222. Let me get your number and I'll give you a call back.
Me will give it an up on you.
I can't do that.
My number is 69.
No. Don't give it on here. Don't give it here. What I'm gonna do, Call me immediately on 225-8491, 225-8491. That's just after 3 o'clock, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna call in, all right?
Just after 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock, you call me.
On
Don't
the
take too
225
long.
number.
Yeah, 225-8491. Just after 3 o'clock. Immediately after 3 o'clock, I'm going to see you down there. 10 after 3, you call me.
Yeah, but I want to make a point here, man.
All right, go ahead and make a point.
Yes. Now, they say you have to go to the ministry for your house lot, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, me see you got the next open for get a house lot. It's more simple. You burn
Which-
down the cane field and you build a house.
You don't want no cane field, though. Don't break the laws.
I pay a lot of tax,
Uh-huh.
right? So what we got to do now, the kind of two side, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we got to do, we got to burn down the cane field and build house. Okay, one side can do that, the other side can do that.
Well, Gildarie can't tell you to do that. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So, I mean, but I understand the point that you're making, that, the normal people who are towing the lines and are going according to the rules and the regulations, they are seeing people using the back door to get through into it. I understand what you're saying.
No, but they burn down the cane field in nursery.
Yes.
So if one set of people could do it, the other side people could do it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it left open.
Yes.
Now, when they had the little protest in East Coast, right?
Uh-huh.
The police shoot a youth man kill him.
That's in West Berbice.
Yes. Now they got protests here and the protests never done. They're beating people, killing people, and the police stand up like they're in a cricket match. They're spectators.
I saw somebody riding a bike and was riding past one of the roadblocks, one of the tires that was burning, and somebody kicked the bike wheel. I could imagine if the person had lost control of that bike and fell. Imagine you fall on that road. The kind of injuries, the kind of danger, the potential danger that could have been. So I understand what you're saying there too.
The man would get burned up because the bike would explode.
Yeah, but you see, and it gets you crazy when you see things like that. All right, I hear you. Thank you very much. Right?
Brother Gildarie,
Yes.
no matter who ruling, is who work where they're working.
Uh-huh.
Because we just get the light bill one way, now it's bad. Now, in West Coast, you get blackout, but 20 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Me, for the motor bun, the thing with this grind, what do you call it,
The blender?
the blender bun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me get money for my game buy all that thing.
I know if I tell you. It's a struggle, eh? The life is a struggle.
Alright, I will call back for 3 o'clock, you say, no?
I just have about 10 after 3 or so, okay?
Okay, thank you very much. Right.
Thank you very much, dear. So, in the meantime, dear, somebody is saying it's not only the police, and this is one of our viewers, listeners, not only the police doing the bad, but the people in government. Look at all those GT&T, NIS, GWI, GPL, GDF, and the GPF are all wicked and evil people working there and having given this government a bad reputation. So, in the meantime, it's CARICOM General Insurance. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Orinoco Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. Good day to the folks on the CARICOM Insurance Company there. And if you're listening to us, I hope that you're doing good business. I know that the insurance business is going to become very critical, or it's becoming very critical with our oil industry right now. Police are drinking beers in bar with a state vehicle. Can they prosecute anyone and they're not doing the right things? Yes, and we see that. It's madness, and I don't think they understand what is happening. Okay. 6, 2, 6, 7. So you are tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. When you see me take a little divert here because I'm making notes, people sending all kind of notes. Let me make a thing. I always get back to them in some ways or the other, maybe a day or so later, because I try to we try to find, they would raise issues. Could we do this? What are some of the solutions? I try to answer as much as possible. But if you see the number of texts that we receive here per day, addressing them is like a nightmare. But we try to do that because this is what the show is all about. We have a commitment to the people. Mr. Lal says, please go on radio, make sure that you give the people a forum in which they could be able to, address some of the concerns. So I want to say good day to you, Mr. Lal. I want to have you sometime here on radio. Every single day you hold a meeting and you're in charge there. I want you to be here so I could be in charge and question you on certain things here. And that's with all due respect. You are a man filled with a good sense of humor. And you understand that what I'm saying to you is with due respect, but I'm there to interrogate you with when you come to, because I would want to hear your talk, how you would respond to some of the questions. So I'm giving you due notice as well when we see you here on radio. Let me see what else the people are saying here. Good afternoon, sir. 25 years I pay for my land in Diamond. I can get my transfer. Please give the minister my number so she can call me and I will talk with her. I think I'm waiting on a open day with when the Ministry of Housing is going to have it, and I would suggest that you go into this person here. I'm going to say it online on the radio as soon as I get a date when they are going to have open day. I'm going to text them right now, and then maybe we could see whether they could tell us when they're going to have the dates. And you could go in some of the questions that you guys would have with regards to lands and so on, go into them. The lady across the river who has been complaining about not getting her transport, these are all issues here that we could talk. So I'm going to ask Mr. Kroll right now. Colin Kroll, Minister of Housing, how are you doing, folks? I understand that the good PM, the Prime Minister of Guyana, Mark Phillips, is celebrating his birthday today. So good day to the good Prime Minister. And of course, a good day to our President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, the rest of the minister, of course, to our opposition leader, all the opposition parliamentarians, and wherever you are. We cannot discount the good role of the parliamentarians would be playing in Guyana, and they represent 217,000 Guyanese. So we go back to the caller online. Is there a caller? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Kaieteur?
Yes, you are. Could you lower the volume on your radio, please?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kaieteur?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just make a request, man. Where Parliament building is, right?
Yes.
We're going to get Ashwin, right? And you have a nice place, people go and sit down and go there. And,
I'm getting a cross line here. You say opposite Parliament building where people sit down?
No, the side of Parliament in High Street.
Yes.
You know, you have a location there, you have a nice fence and...
Yes, there's a little parking thing like, yes.
Correct, man, correct. I see a lot of people, these smoky, drunkies, occupy, you have like a concrete building there.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
We're having a...
We have a stylist and so on. I see a lot of people down there, and
Could you call
I see them make a man thing look so...
Yes, I'm sorry, we lost that call there. Somehow we're getting some cross lines here, and I'm not sure what's happening. But what that gentleman is saying there, that place that he's talking about there is right not too far away from the Brick Dam police station. It's right next door to St. Stanislaus College. It's a beautiful area. I think it used to be the Bureau of Statistics that used to be there. And the fence, I think it was back before 2015. It was fenced by the Ministry, I think, of Housing. I think Irfan Ali was there at that point in time. And it was a beautiful place. It's supposed to be a nice little park that you could probably just, look at it. And it used to look good. I'm not sure who's upkeeping it, but yes, it was noted that many people are hanging around there and they're doing peeing up against the fence. They're doing, all kind of things that they're doing there. So I hear what that gentleman is saying, and it's good. I look at it every single day, and when we have our people in Guyana starting to talk about caring for our land, paying attention to our infrastructure, and start having those conversations. It makes me feel good. It means that people are paying attention and they want to see this land. They want to see us take care of what belongs to us. They want to see the beautiful places like the national park, our zoo, our Kaieteur Falls, our seawalls, and so on are taken care of. And I must say, I did see a group of citizens would have been clearing up on the seawall there over the last couple of weeks. Even the First Lady, Ari Ali, would have been there, and they would have joined in the cleanup of the seawall. It's something to be proud about when we have our seawalls being cared for, especially that Kingston area, which is such a big thing. It means a lot to the people of Guyana. It's a very relaxing environment, and if it's clean, it gives you so much things to look forward to bring your children, to bring your family, and have a relaxing weekend. A relaxing couple hours. We know because of the COVID-19 now, there have been some restrictions, but it doesn't stop us from keeping our place clean, for caring for it, and and doing something about it. In the meantime, we are gonna look back at some messages before we go back. I've texted the minister. I know he's very busy. When he responds to us, let me ask him back again. So thank you very much there. There's a break there in transmission. And there's a Wake Up Guyana show. So let's go back to the callers. Do we have a caller online? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You call from Berbice, right?
Yes.
Why the people is there protest for 130?
Well, I don't know if there was a protest here. See, the family doesn't seem to be lending any kind of support to that. So I think it's an excuse. It's an excuse to rob.
Protest there fast like when me see there. Them are sorry only for rob people like.
Yes, that's it. Because if the family don't endorse, what are you protesting? The government, not the government, the police investigator says they've asked for overseas help. We are busy with the case.
Yes.
So what are you protesting for? You're looking for an excuse to do something else.
Hey, no, what am I protest for? Who am I there? What thing been killed? Everybody am I be killing? Nobody never been protest for that. Nobody never been protest. Who much coolie people not there at this place? Who much people not murder? Nobody not protest. Them not go down with that.
Yes, so I understand what you're saying there, but this is something, you look at it, I have to shake my head. What are you protesting?
Well, then they need to stop all this nonsense because people are punished. Me think like tomorrow, non-truck mightn't buy load again with all this what happened because them man go frightened.
Right. Are you calling from Berbice there, Blackbush Polo?
Yeah, Johanna.
All right, madam. I know that you would have called me sometime back. I know that you're deeply worried because you don't want to see your produce going to waste, and you did tell me the last time you lost thousands of dollars.
Yes.
All right, let's see what happened. We're paying close attention. The police did issue a statement and say that they managed to clear the roads, they cleared the roads and so on. Let's see what happened. But I could tell you, they're not protesters. There's something else. They got to be robbers or something, man.
Yeah, them are rap people, man. They're not protest there.
They kick a guy. They almost kicked the guy off his bike yesterday. What are you doing? What are we doing?
Nada.
Right.
Nada. They're not doing nothing with sense, eh?
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Right?
Yeah.
So good day to the folks down in Blackbush Pole. I haven't called them out for a little while there. Yakasari, Maibikuri, and Johanna, and all of them there. And the number 43 out there, the number 43, the Adventure. I want to say good day down the good folks at Nan Prasad and Company there. How you doing, Mohin and Raj, Rajendra Prasad? And those are very hardworking millers and all the farmers and everybody. We're in the midst of cotton rice at the moment, and there seems to be having a very good rice crop. When everything seems to be done, rice is doing very good. So that's something that we can't get away from. Feeding our people, food security is going to be something that's going to be playing a very important role in the years to come. Good day, the internet service we pay for is like crap. Data is expensive. My children cannot connect to no Zoom class. Online learning is a mess. Consideration should be given by the minister, should have been taken by the Minister of Education. Cannot blame teachers what they're only following orders. Thank you very much for that. Let me see. This is on Monday, October the 5th. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Just want you to know that if GT&T is for real, it's been 41 days since my phone and internet service has been disrupted. I was told it's a cable problem. I should continue to pay the service. That is GT&T, and you should complain to the PUC. I did give a PUC number there, 226-7042. Call them, complain, because how are you paying for something that you're not getting the services there? 226-7042. This is what GT&T. It seems as if we've moved away a little from the NIS. How are you guys making out with the NIS? Many persons would have been calling us there over the last couple of weeks there. I did give some numbers there. I think it's a 6400-639, 6400-639. Call them, make your complaints to that number there. The NIS has kindly, the GM, the general manager has kindly given me that number there. I want to say good day to the folks down at the NIS. The people got a lot of complaints, and they said that you should be looking at it, and the NIS is trying to reach them. They have acknowledged that they have many challenges, and they're trying to work. Let's see what happens. And also, hi, Gildarie. Let me see. I'm from, good afternoon, this is from the Laluni area. On the Laluni, this is the Suzaiklinden highway there. I'm Laluni. I want to call on the authority to look into Laluni and give each household a solar panel because we don't get current here, and also some people. But it stopped working. We can't afford it. Another please, we need help badly. I'm going to reach out to Mr. Deodatindar. I know Mr. Deodatindar is all over the place. He's been in the Esquibo area, in the Maikoni area, on the Esquibo Island, Wakenham, and so on recently. So I'm going to ask him to make a visit because he's in charge of the Ministry of Public Works there, along with Minister Juan Edgel, and they are also charged with electricity in Guyana. So I'm going to ask him to see whether there's something, maybe put Laluni on the list of something that needs to be done for those people in that area. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I am I'm not sure what this point, from West Coast Demerara, I'm going into rice. I think maybe it's a remigrant. Okay, yes. A remigrant from West Coast Demerara. I'm going into rice farming. I recently bought a tractor this morning. I went to purchase steel materials to build cage wheels, and when I asked about the VAT, the sales girl who's working at the store told me that that will be for next year. I'd like to know something about that. I'm going to ask about that when the VAT goes into effect. I know some stuff goes into effect next year, so I'm going to ask the authorities there whether you have to pay VAT right now or with immediate effect that you stop paying VAT on that. Thank you very much for raising that issue. So wherever you are, it's a Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio here, 99.1, 99.5. We're joining you on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And so we head right back into the calls. Do we have another caller there, Raj? Good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, pleasant good afternoon to Mr. Gildarie. How are you?
Pretty good, sir. Go right ahead.
Okay, I would like to make a small contribution, like the Ministry of Communities, to look into, all these housing areas and communities to install fire hydrants. Because at these times there are a lot of fires happening for the past month, and you don't have fire hydrant in not a lot of areas, even in Diamond or the East Coast. All these new housing areas don't have a fire hydrant, right? And I think they need to start to install these stuff to help people to get better access to water if there is a fire in a community or a village.
It's a very good point, very good point.
And I would like to make another assumption. On this Sheriff Street expansion, these contractors, right, that build this road, you spend so much of money. I'm not an engineer, but my knowledge of being a contractor, I do my own work, my own small work. But being a contractor making a drain, I think they need to have a trap, dirt trap, right, at each block. That even though in time to come, like you go down 10 feet down in the earth, right, beneath the drain. So you could catch the dirt and lead it into that box there, a 10 by 10 box. That whenever you need to clean it, you don't have to remove all the cover from the front of the road till down where to obstruct traffic, where you could go to one manhole and push down a suction and just sucked up all those dirt that trapped there. if you get what I'm telling you.
No, I have an idea what you're talking about exactly because I think I have the
Look,
same idea.
And if you look at the expansion on Sheriff Street from Rupert Credit Highway all the way to Mandela down to the back road there does not have a dirt trap. It's one flat drain they're making, charging a set of money. If you look at Suriname, the Dutch engineer has have dirt trap, even if they build in a gutter, a drain to catch dirt, and you don't have to remove all those covers. In 5 years' time, that drain there would need to remove all the cover and clean because there's so much dirt trapped right through, where you could have dirt removed from section, like from every 2 blocks only. If you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Gildarie.
I agree with you. I agree with you what you're saying there. And we have to think when we're doing things, we have to think long term in some of these projects that we have. I think that's what you're thinking. So I agree with you what you're saying there.
I think the ministry needs to look into fire hydrant to install in each area, and even in new housing scheme that they are putting up. You need proper drain, proper road, and fire hydrant.
I can tell you there's one opposite me where I'm living in Diamond here. I would see from time to time the fire service would come and test it out to see whether it's working and so that's good. But you're quite right. In many areas, without that.
In every street, in every area, need to have 2 fire hydrants, both ends. Because sometimes the fire truck come, they don't even have water to out your fire.
They would have water, but it's very, very limited. Within minutes
the
of the
thing. Not have enough.
Right.
So I
it
think
is a
they
problem.
need to look into all these communities, not only one, but each and every one. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
God bless you. Bye-bye. So thank you very much for that. And so one of the big things that is coming out there, and that's a very good point there by the caller there, when you're talking about planning for the communities that we have across Guyana. And that's one of the problems with squatting. When you have squatting, you can't have the wide enough streets and so on. It has to be planned. Every community that you build in a new housing scheme, it has to be planned in such a way that you could be able, on the long term, that you could have it in such a way that people could be able to clean the back drains. There's enough walkways and so on that the cleaners could come in and they could do their stuff, that you could be able to put down the water lines in a very strategic way. It has to all be done at proper planning, and so if you don't have that and you have squatting taking place, it's going to put us that whole planning process in a tailspin, and we need to do a little better than that. One of the big talks over the last couple of hours is about some videos circulating about the police standing by, and maybe there's a lot of upset people that the police seems to be given they're being very lax, very lackadaisical, doing nothing when they see the laws are being broken. Right away, you're supposed to arrest somebody, put them inside the van, and take them away if they're breaking the laws. And what you would have seen up in Berbice there, it seems as if the police not very clear as to what their mandate is. A lot of people very upset. You would have seen a lot of chatter on Facebook, on social media, and different places where they would be talking about how the police reacted yesterday, and it exposed, according to the folks who would have been watching, paying attention to the situation, the weaknesses in our system, our law enforcement system, especially with regards to the police. And as we continue, we'd have to bring these issues, these shortcomings to the light so that people could be able to, criticize. It's only in criticizing are we able to see some kind of improvement. I see even the Army coming out the last couple of hours and they're complaining about criticisms about its leadership and so on. So people get very upset with when you criticize them, and when you say that you're taking bribes and things like that, they fix the system, they go to defend themselves. But I would like to also point out that the same energy that you take to defend yourself, you should put that same energy into also doing, carrying out your mandate to the people, which is protecting, which is with service, which is, everything to do with the police force and what comes along with it that you should be doing. So, Raj, right back to the caller. Do we have another caller on the line there? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Leonard or Gildarie?
Gildarie, anything you want to call me, man. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. It's very, this curfew time is very serious. Say something. You're having more time to do business. You're having more time to go about what you have to do. I mean, you can make your division in different way, right? Now, the police, I can't understand what they're doing. People still driving now. this thing getting so serious. The bosses them having people with no mask. Even the driver driving with no mask, and you can't tell. The driver don't have a conductor. If you ask him for the sanitizer to spray the lock so you could help him, he don't have sanitizer. He ain't got on a mask. And the police is right there. Now, the police hiding with the speed gun between the trees. Police supposed to be vision with a speed gun. Not hiding, and when you come, then you put a speed lock. You know what I mean?
No, but I understand very clearly, and that's the issue that I have, because what they should be doing, they're not doing. And when you see that video, the people were very, very upset yesterday about the lackadaisical attitude of the police. If you're listening, I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the passenger, the owner, the driver, or conductor, whatever they have, right? They know what's going on. If the government need money or the police need money, take the passenger. Start charging the passenger $20,000 fine or something, and if we start doing something, remember, people trying to protect themselves, and when you go into a bus, you're harming yourself.
Well, let me put it this way to you, or maybe when you're off here, I'm going to, when you finish with this call, I'm going to have to address it. Because what I'm about to say will get a lot of people very upset. It might seem very inhuman. It might seem very cold. But we have to do it. We have to say it to the people, because this thing is not about the government or the police. It has to do with the people. Because how long you don't put your foot down, people are going to continue to ride it.
But so why the police stop the bus with a speed gun? And people in the bus don't have masks. Is that a next offense?
Everybody's supposed to. You see, when you start charging them and taking them before the courts.
That you have to do. Now, another thing, this thing will happen in Berbice. You know, in PBP time, when PBP do a picketing or something, you see a whole truckload from TSU come down and rush down, and you have to run. But now look what happened in there. Innocent people, poor people in Black Bush, you're planting a crop and can't sell.
But I don't understand who's really in charge of the police force. There's a policy making part. The security. There's a Ministry of Security. Yeah, there's a Ministry of Home Affairs. I'd probably have to ask Mr. Ben, Minister Robertson Ben.
But this is a serious matter.
No, it is. We're talking here about the security of our people.
Innocent people.
We talk about the security of our people. It's a very serious issue.
Yeah, I can understand. You know, if you have people like me, I tell you, all who pick up in there, you just get a vehicle with guns and shoot all them down.
No, we can't say that. So, no, we can't.
No,
but I understand the anger. I understand the point that you make.
No, if they get the upper hand on you, they would kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right, my brother. Thank you very much for that, right?
And there's another thing on here. In Grove here, the NDC, they have the drain at the back.
The 4-foot, you used to call it.
Pigs. Pigs going on and down the mud, the drain black enough. You got people throwing things over the fence. And you know, he went into the NDC and told them, well, they have people walking, look at the fence and see who committed the offense and charge them.
I'm not sure. Everybody like to break the laws.
As soon as a little rain fall in Grove, it flood.
Right.
Now, the drain low and you water from...
What part in Grove exactly are you talking about?
Housing scheme.
This is from next door to Diamond here?
Yeah, after you cross over Diamond.
Into the new scheme, the new Golden Grove scheme.
Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as the rain flush out.
Yeah, we have issues here. All right.
And the pigs, and you tell the police, you tell the NTV, the pigs coming through there, hauling down the mud, digging the mud. You know what's happened?
Yeah.
The whole place, people throwing a old fridge, old stove, blocking the place. So if you clean your backyard, if 3 yards join and clean your part, one to the other part them. And they have the cookers open. If they drain them, if they clean good, when the cook over at 12 o'clock, the waters run. All the water would run away.
All right, my brother, I hear you.
That. The NDC know about that. I don't know what they're doing. What the members say, the NDC knows about it. Well, charge the people them and you know who commit offense. Charge them, put the fine, and put the money to make back the drain them.
Right. All right, so I'm going to continue. I probably raise it. I think.
But, white people have to punish, innocent people have to punish for people who do shit. You know what I mean?
Right, because the issue that we have here is not that the laws are not there, it has to do with enforcement. Our issue that we have in Guyana, we have an enforcement issue, a big enforcement issue.
Yeah.
But they know when to enforce it.
We call headquarters, all they call in traffic, telling them, yes, sir, yes, sir. All the station call, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the same thing happening.
Right.
So you go in the bus and the man say, now he want to put three in the seat. I decide to walk out. I say, you want to take him? You take him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I come out the bus because he want to put 3 parts in the seat. The gas reduce. You got to see what best to do. Is everybody punishing? Everybody going through things. You know what I mean? So we have to see for one another. The only way you can live is when you see for one another, when you respect one another. Then people going on with them stupid, they don't have respect for you. They don't have respect for human beings. You know what I mean? Oh, so.
Thank you very much, dear. Yeah. Good, bye-bye. So all the way, the good folks in Diamond Grove there. Somebody is saying here, I would like to know, I look at your program every day. Why don't you look into the camera at least once when you look into the camera and people could see your face to know if you're sincere or not, raise your face and look into the camera. The reason why I don't look into the camera, because this is a radio program here. It's an interactive thing, so I have to be reading some of the messages. I'm looking at a phone, I'm looking at a tablet, I'm looking at a computer. I'm looking at 3 different things. I have a notebook in front of me. I have pieces of paper that I have here. Rats are sitting up doing absolutely nothing across there, and I'm forced to do all the work. So it's a lot of things. When you see I'm not looking into the thing, this is not a television show. This is a radio show, and it's interactive. So you got to read the people business. It's not a beauty pageant. It's not how much stubbles I have on my face or whatever. So my apologies. I want to look into the radio, but I can't do that. Good afternoon, Leonard. I want to say Happy Teachers' Day. I have a question. When there was an opposition, the nurses didn't go out and protest for raise and allowance. Yet, yes, we all understand the nurses them getting put in the life at risk for safety and other things. Why these people burning the road? They're asking for justice. Can they have justice by burning? Can they have justice by burning road and attacking people? But these people are not protesting for justice. They're using that as an excuse to attack and rob people. They use another word. I can't tell you what they use the word there. But it is indeed true what you're saying there. That what you see happening there, these are not protesters. These are people who are looking to make a raise, and where we have to call it as it is. If the family is not backing, and if the people who are the interested party, the parties who would have been hurt, don't have an issue, they're waiting, and they're waiting on the police to do what they have to do. And you decide to do it off your own. What relationship do you have to these people, and the family is not doing it, and you decide to block the road? It got to be something else. Good afternoon, Leonard. I'm texting you again concerning the areas of Islington, Overwinning, Gay Park, and Glasgow. It seems we're being neglected. No one will represent our interests concerning the COVID-19 cash grant. I don't know how it works. If the people in other areas being registered, example in Kanji, it seems as the East Bank, Berbice is being neglected. No. You got to wait until they come on. They haven't come to your areas yet. They have not come on back to the coast. They started with Region 1, went to Region 9, and they come into the coastlands next, according to Prime Minister Mark Phillips. Like I said before, good day to Mr. Mark Phillips. It's happy birthday. So wait until they make the announcement as to when they're going to come in your area there. So it's not some places without everybody, as long as you're part of our household, has to get. And we want to know how if they've been doing a good job at it. So far in Region 1 and 9, it's only 1-2 complaints that we've been receiving, and I presume they could raise this with the officials there. But we have not received any big hiccups about people not getting. What I would like to know is whether people who probably weren't eligible to get, maybe that they would have been receiving. This is cash we're talking about, so you know what could happen with cash. Could be the government has good intentions, but you get one, two bad men down at the end. They're bad women and men. Good afternoon, Leonard. All I can say, I don't believe the bullyism which is happening in Guyana happens anywhere else in the world. I'm referring to the so-called protesting in Berbice. It makes me wonder if Guyana is a real place. The government appointed ministers who is responsible for the police force need to step up to the task at hand or step down from his position. Mr. Robertson Ben taking some licks there. I'm going to ask Mr. Robertson Ben to come on the radio sometime, maybe as early as Wednesday, tomorrow Wednesday. We could probably have a chat on it sometime. I'm going to chat with him tonight and see whether he's willing to come on board. Maybe answer, whether maybe we had dropped the ball on this. Good afternoon. Hi, Gildarie. Hoping that you're in the best of health. I want to take this opportunity to wish all our country's teachers, particularly my colleagues in the Quarantine Comprehensive High School, a blessed Teachers Day. Even amid the COVID pandemic, teachers have gone out all the ways just to ensure classes are serviced in an efficient manner. Again, hats off to my always hardworking colleagues in the profession. Have a blessed day. Greetings from Miss Valerie. Miss Valerie there, all the way from Berbice, Quarantine Comprehensive High School. I want to say good day to all teachers in here, not only Quarantine Comprehensive High School, but wherever you are, whether it's in the private system, in the public system, and all over the world. If you tuned in to us, I want to say good day to you. We appreciate what you've been doing. We understand the challenges. It's a very tough time. Mr. Lal tell me to go on leave, but I understand it's COVID-19. I can't walk off and leave my people on the radio alone. Said they want Gildarie to come on. They want Rats to be here. So we back here. So I'm on leave and I'm on working because these are things we have to sacrifice. It's very hard on our bodies. I'm supposed to be out there doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but we here. So we understand. The point is, as teachers, we have to understand this is desperate times. We have to step up to the plate. We have to deliver because this is not going to last forever. But our world, the entire world is changed for the worse because of COVID-19. We've had the knock-on effect of the elections. I thank God that we're over with for that period of time in which we would have been dealing with COVID-19, the indecisiveness as well as the pandemic. And so we seem to be in a better place right now. But the teachers, we understand that you have been doing a fantastic work. And so we recognize that. And so in the meantime, let me see if there's some other messages before we go back to some other messages. Room 592, this is somebody. Hi, Gildarie. I'm a regular listener to your most interesting and enjoyable program. My name is Rahul Bazio, student of West Demerara, and talking about he and thing. So this is a very good kid here. He's coming on and, wants some help there. We're going to put him on a list. So good day to the students over in the West Demerara area. If you want to use Zoom this morning, Zoom is a very funny thing. Every day I could tell you a different story that makes me smile. I've seen my little kid, my little son grew up over the years, and he's always a strange character. At one point in time, we weren't even sure he was going to make it. He was born in St. Martin. When I got a bill from the hospital because his mom was in the hospital 9 months, I got a bill for $200,000 US. But fortunately, we had the insurance, so the insurance picked it up. And we had almost given up hope that he would have made it. So he struggled, skinny as hell. But he is 13 now, and he is in his third form. And you got to see him. Zoom and these online classes, he's gone with it with and the enthusiasm that I've never seen before. And then we tried to push him, but we knew that he had his limitations and so on, that, he likes his technical stuff. He likes to work with his hands, with computers and those kind of things. So he says, for all of that, I'm still going to become a pediatrician. So I'm sitting there looking into the room this morning, and he's on his classes. He did his homework over the weekend, and homework took him to about 12 last night. He woke up back this morning and is at it again with Zoom. But I'm looking at him, he's sitting in front of his computer. I want to say welcome, Riaz is in the studio, WR Riaz. But he's sitting in front of his computer there, talking to his teacher on WhatsApp or whatever it is that he's using. And he's without his shirt. So classes have gone to a different thing. So I said, what happened? He said, it's not on video, It's that's how they be talking here together. So um, it's a very funny thing, but I keep thinking in my head, I'm looking at him there, and I said, but you're very fortunate because you could still do classes, although we don't have it in the normal way. But how many students out here can't afford GT&T or don't have access to GT&T, don't have access to internet. The only internet that they have is on the phone, and you know how data runs out very quickly if you're doing live, if you're online, and so it's very, very expensive. For a day alone, it might be about 1,000. I'm not sure if you're going to go an entire day. And we only talking about one kid there, and if you don't have a tablet, if you don't have a smartphone, we understand those challenges very, very clear here. So we are going to go back to our phone calls here. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Berbice.
Berbice, I'm getting a cross line there. Could you lower your volume, please, on your radio?
No, it's not my radio. It's my neighbor radio.
Oh, your neighbor radio. All right, go into a place where they can't hear you because feedback into it.
Okay, so.
Go right ahead.
You hear me right here?
Yes, I'm hearing you as well as hearing the neighbor radio, but go ahead. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Are you there? I think, did we lose the call? Yes, my apologies. If you call in, make sure that your radio volume is down. We're going to have a lot of feedback here, and especially with GT&T, with the lines being crossed and that very poor services that you're offering right now, you need to get your act together. You need to address some of the people who want to get onto you. They're saying that you have services, repairs, faults that has not been fixed for months on end. Berbice, especially, and Albion and so on, people complaining very bitterly about what is happening there. So welcome, Riaz. Riaz, what have you been doing this weekend? I saw you and your car and some bikes flying in the air.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so that is actually a new series that we're launching.
Mm-hmm.
There were no racing happening there, as we know that we actually can't do motor racing for the year. We've not been granted. But we've had this series sitting for the beginning of the year, and we've been bogged down on it. I was out in January. We didn't get a start in February, and then there comes the pandemic. So we made a decision that, hey, we got to get this series started before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So those flying bikes, that's a new motocross track right up on the highway, actually. And we did the first episode, filmed the first episode. It'll release, we're going to release it by this weekend, actually. The boys have just we've just completed a 20-second promo that we've now circulated on Facebook. But those are some young riders doing some great stuff that I can't do.
But it's a good thing that we have our young people involved in things that are innocent.
Yeah, they were all innocent. Young. Yeah, they were young. Like let me give you a little example. Paige Mendonza, which is the daughter of Carlos Rodriguez. He have his daughter and his son there. His daughter is about maybe about 12. His son is probably about 9. Then we had another even younger than that. He was about 5 or 6. 5 or 6. 5 or 6 year old Pang. Pang is their last name. I can't remember the little child name altogether. But some youngsters who are involved. So this is like a whole nurturing ground motocross. This is going to be something new for Guyana in 2021.
Great. I like things like that. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Now the government raised traffic tickets fines to stop accident to no avail, only to make the police richer. Don't you think it would be better to lower the fines and put more money in the coffers? Please make some comment. This is a difficult thing because
that's an interesting one.
How are you gonna? So if the fines are high and the police say, well, you ain't gonna pay the fine, pay something lower. So you put something in the If you lower the fine, does that mean if it's so low that you could afford it to pay it, then you don't give a damn about whether you're making any infringement. If it's $2,000, you say, man, to hell with it. If you afford it, you pay the $2,000 and out of there. What I think you should do, what I think the government should do is start looking into things like 3 strikes. if you have 3 traffic offenses within a couple of months, or minibus drivers, points. So the insurance company needs to get it. In America,
insurance I'm talking about.
yeah.
You saw the release from GRA with the lowering of license. It started on the 1st, actually.
Right,
this month.
But here in America, if you like I had my brother-in-law, he bought a new vehicle. First time he's driving. You know his insurance is going to be very, very high, right?
It's ridiculous.
Because
correct.
he is going to start, I think it's a couple hundred.
He's a high risk.
Couple
driver.
$100 per month that you pay for insurance. It's even
Compared
probably
to-
even
compared to-
higher. It's even higher than the actual installment on the vehicle that he's saying. So here the issue is. So there's a couple of innovative initiatives that you could take. You could link it up to your insurance. That the minute you start committing offenses and it is registered in court, your points goes up in the insurance.
Yeah, that's a whole battle. But I am not. I have all my insurance on my cars on the roadways. I am still not very likening of the insurance in Guyana, how it operates.
No, because the insurance that we have here is an archaic insurance that dates back to the 70s. They need to change the laws.
Despite my new listeners, I am an insurance car driver. My cars are insured. But it's a system that I am not 100. I'm doing it because you know what? I am forced and I have to do it.
Yeah, you have to do it. It's a law.
Right?
You have to find it.
But other than that context, not hitting at any friends who I have in insurance, but I've braced this already in the past, I am not the best of individuals who like to support it. For many reasons. For many, many reasons. And I could list them at any given time. But it is what it is. It's the law, and we're doing it. I passed it just now. I was coming to the studio, man. I saw another fancy rum shop open today.
Well, they got pool places that open in hotels and things like that. Do you know that the Princess Casino is open?
No, I don't have. Listen, I don't have.
Me saying that I got a problem. Just tell me what it is.
I have no problems with who open because I tell you what, it's
business, right?
Listen,
It's business.
I was at a fancy place over the weekend. I tell you if somebody.
You can't tell me that.
Hey man, I tell you this thing.
Okay, all right,
Friday, I tell you this thing.
You can tell me, but I don't want to acknowledge it.
I tell you on Friday, if somebody carry me to this fancy place, I can check it out. I checked it out.
Okay,
a couple of the waitress told me, we heard you on the radio, we saw your status. We gotta make a living. I don't have a problem.
No.
I don't.
That's the control. I have an issue with the control.
My only thing is, I don't have a problem. And a couple of persons say, I can take a picture with you. I said, no, don't worry. I don't post a picture already where I am. So it's not I'm against this. I am not saying that I'm against.
No, we have to have control. We have to have control.
And you must adhere to the COVID guidelines. But my problem is, I am not trying, not like I'm an advocate of the small shops. I'm just saying those persons are suffering the same way. And they ought to be given an opportunity to earn. If we're doing it with great establishments and stuff like that, hey, I'm not against this thing. Right. Don't let anyone see me that I'm against. I'm simply for a balanced outcome of this. That's all I'm seeing it and I'm asking for. That's all. I am not saying, well, if you dare and you dare and you no, I'm just trying to get so that everyone could be happy at the end of the day. Because the waitress told me that, I saw your status and I heard you on the radio saying, I said, no, I have no problem against you. I just want everyone to have a level playing field. And like the president is saying, this thing is something that we have to live with for a period of time. And we have to adjust to certain situations.
Absolutely, dear. And so WRES. And hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. I would like to say kudos to the head teacher and the teachers of the West Demerara Secondary. They're giving students at least 3 subjects at 40 minutes minimum each on Zoom. Keep it up, teachers. A great job. So not only to the teachers of the West Demerara Secondary Day, but all teachers. It's today's Teachers Day. Teachers Day. And so it is. It's your day. We recognize you. Yep. And you guys have been doing a fantastic job so far. We know the challenges. Of course, let's try to step it up. It's desperate times. We have to go that extra mile. Everybody's going that extra mile. Even at Kaieteur News, we go in the extra mile because we understand this is a different period. This is a high demand period. This is where money is not flowing. So you got to make sure to just stay alive. You got to make sure you eat less, maybe just, just bear up a little. We're going to try to ride this out, and let's see what happens. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show, and let me tell you what it is. We have like just about 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes thereabouts, and we want to give our good people some time to give us some more calls. Very, very quickly, 226-7453. We want to hear from you guys. How you doing? What's bothering you? It's not about Gildarie. It's not about Riaz. It's definitely not about Raj. We want to hear from you. Go right ahead, caller. We missed that one there. It's definitely not about Raj. So the Wake Up Guyana show with Leonard Gildarie here.
I know you've been talking about this, and I heard some callers on my way over. I was listening to you. And I know you condemn this, and I have to condemn what happened yesterday as well, because if I don't, it'll be like I am promoting it. I've seen videos that is, it makes me wonder that I saw a video of a man attempting to kick a man off his motorbike.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's madness. Absolute
and this
madness.
is at number 5. Is it number 5 if I'm correct? West Coast Berbice. That is high level madness. Mm-hmm. And if you're a sane individual and if you have conscience for your own self, then you will condemn this act. You will speak against it. Because imagine a man, I was out.
It's unbelievable. It's a very shocking thing, and that's not something.
Very
and had I been there, I'd like to see you try to kick me out. I think I would have thrown the bike down, put it wrong, and put it be a brawl.
I did not. By the time I got home early. I got home a little bit after 6, before 6 actually, but the sun was hot yesterday. And and
unbelievable.
The red sun was flying, and the sun and the red sun, if you take a wipe, it was crazy. I kind of get a bit early to bed. But my point is, I didn't get to investigate this. Or this was an old foot. Did a building was set on fire yesterday as well?
I'm not sure about that. We're going to see.
I don't know if that was an old footage. I saw
it, but I did not. A lot of nonsense passing.
But what I did know is that there were like about 25 tires. I counted this picture that I saw, and I saw a 10-second video of a guy attempted to kick someone off the motorbike, and prior to that, pelting something at a vehicle while passing.
Right.
These are acts we have to condemn.
No, absolutely there. So I did promise you guys to get a number for the Ministry of Housing. Let me tell you. So I did text Minister Kroll from the Ministry of Housing, and Colin Kroll says this. I did ask him about when is it that it is a public day. So the only way that you could get in to see the minister on a public day is by appointments, and so he's taking appointments for you to see him. If you have issues, I'm going to call these numbers out, and so you give them a call, you give those numbers a call, and they could be able to set the appointment. The one that is on Wednesday this week here, he does it every Wednesday, is filled already, so you're looking at next week. But the numbers that you should be calling is 600 0241, 600 0241, or 624 6282. 624-6282. So let me just repeat those numbers for the Ministry of Housing again. 600-0241, 600-0241, or 624-6282. 624-6282. So you could call there, make an appointment if you have issues about your transport or whatever it is. With regards, don't go to the man and make an application. He's not the guy. They're just taking the applications right now. But if you have issues that has been long-standing and you want it to sort out, or something happened that you really need him to sort, but to make an application, you have to do that online. You go to somebody who could do it. But do not go to the man, the minister, and say, Lord, could you help me, minister, with an application? He wouldn't have time for that. You need to be let the persons who have issues, long-standing issues over the years, go to him. Maybe if you have an application that dating back since 2001 and nobody calling you, yes, that's a legitimate thing that you could go to the minister about. So I want to say good day again to all the teachers again. It's all Teachers Day.
Yes,
and we want to recognize them.
Happy
Fantastic.
International Teachers Day to all the teachers indeed. It's that challenging for the teachers as it is for the kids.
Right.
So kudos to the teachers who putting the works in, especially afternoon to you all for sure.
How come President Ali did not visit Region 2, Essequibo Coast? I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to send this to him. and make sure that I hope that he still reaches. I think he reaches message. This guy wakes up early in the morning.
Yes.
He's very, very thick. He goes to bed late at night, I understand. So he got his ministers, them doing it, and I like that. I think even Barjack was doing it. They're all over the place. These guys are busy, busy, busy. The ministers, when I say on weekends,
yeah,
they're not staying home. They're working, working. I like it.
I saw the Minister of Labor was out in
Region 9 or somewhere.
Region
Region 9.
Then I saw Minister of Local Government moved from Berbice, as in all the way in Skeldon. Then he stopped at West Coast Berbice on his way home.
Deodatin was in Myconi River. Then he went up to Wakenham. I'm not sure.
I've been seeing a lot of work, and I must acknowledge this. I've seen Member of Parliament Faisal Jafar Ali. He is out almost every day.
That man is working hard. I kind of like that.
Out every day, as it is. So that's great. That's meeting the people. That's good.
Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
All right.
Tell me.
You are from the middle bank wharf there, right?
Pardon?
Mr. From the middle bank wharf.
The Meadowbank Wharf. What happened there?
Yeah, you get some scanners there, Roman, beer and all sort of thing, right?
During the day or during the night?
Nighttime, daytime, all thing.
It's a shop, it just says a stand. It's a corner stand.
Yeah, stand, yeah, and there was set of people for all them fishermen.
Yeah, they got to be very careful with that because the fishermen, I mean, imagine you going out there and you fishing and things like that, and you coming out back, and I mean, that could be one way. Yeah. We didn't even pay attention to that. There's another big area there. That's something that they need to pay attention to.
After 3 weeks, I have a lady 700,000.
Yes.
9 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much, boss. I pass this information on.
The government will look into the matter.
Yes, of course. Not the government. The authorities that is going to take. All right?
Yeah. So you're still something on.
Yes. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye-bye. So Gail Bacchus on with us. Gail Bacchus is one of our very faithful, very loyal fans for not only when we were the elections and the COVID-19 wards, but room 592. And she's with us and she says, I'm a very proud teacher who's been serving from 1998 to present. Is it 1988, Gail says. 1988. A good day to you, Gail. And you know what? Gail, congratulations. That's a very long time.
Indeed.
That's how much? 12 and 20. That's 32 years. 32 years. Very, very long time. That's more than half of my life. And so, you know, I saw my teacher the other day, and this lady here, she was like this short of my common entrance teacher, and she was the best common entrance teacher at that point in time. And when under her, I got Queen's College. But when I remember sitting in her class during the common entrance time, and I looked at her, and this little skinny boy in this teacher class that was very short. And I used to be so afraid. Even today, looking at her, I said, I wonder, because I'm towering above her right now. I said, how was I, you know, like so very scared of this teacher? But guess what? I really love that lady. You couldn't beat her in, you know, draft, right, the game? You can't beat her in draft. She was that quick. And if it's dominoes and things like that, she would sit down with you during the thing. But you see, go back, so classes start so dusty in your head, you know, the thing that you erase, she'll pelt you, whatever is in her hand, chalk, anything is she pelting you. If she says, Gildarie, what's the answer to that? You can answer fast enough, dust in your head. So those are the kind of things. So I love my teachers. I understand very, very clearly they have a very important job, and they are the ones who mold in the minds of our good students. And so we have to pay, not only that, we talking about teachers the entire day, frontline workers. We lost a very important man this morning, Mark King, a very senior frontline worker who recently retired, died because of COVID-19. This is one of the stories that are coming out. So,
I heard that sad news. My dad know Mark King very well, actually.
Right.
He was telling me about it this morning altogether.
Yeah, he seems to be very well respected. So it is unfortunate we come down on a day like today. This time just run out, and you guys have made me come out of my leave.
I was about to ask you that when I heard you on the radio.
Ask the question quickly. You got 2 minutes.
So, how are you not on leave? Because I wasn't planning coming in early. I was going to get to do something. And then I heard you. I was like, you know what? I'm already heading in the direction. Let me get it done. Then I'll come in. And because I'm calculating, Gildarie said Friday. He's going on leave. So I'm not coming in early today.
But here's the thing. What do you do with a show like this? People want to raise it. So I'm at home. And I can't do the home. The Zoom classes going on inside.
Right, so...
The kitchen pot's knocking in the corner there. And Gildarie is sitting in the corner there. And I can't go into the room. The place is hot. And how long am I going to... Then you got to talk and... You got to be watching Raj very carefully. Raj falls asleep very so often. And so you got to watch him. I want to watch him. So I said, let me come into the office. It takes 2 hours. Let me come in, go back. But it got to be that I love these people a lot.
Yes.
So I love you guys a lot. I've said
That's
it, right?
true.
You
That's
know,
true. That's very true.
You know, WRE has
Great
made me say it. You know, so I came out. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to I'm going to do some more tests with my eyes. I'm really not seeing too very far. I got to wear my specs if I'm driving in the night. And they said there's something wrong with the retina. I really got to see whether there's some treatment for it. So there's a couple of tests more that I think. I have to.
I'll advise that even if it means that you take a few days off of the show, I'm sure the listeners will understand. But it's for the overall betterment. So I'll advise. So you guys gotta bear with us a little. So let me see. As soon as I said that you can't be here anymore, you gotta go fix this. Maybe take some rest, stay away from computers and television and the phones and everything. I'd have to go do it, man. But again, we love you here from Kaieteur Radio, WRE as myself, Raj, the rest of the guys, Joshua Van Slightman, Kevin, and the rest of the folks here. Mr. Lal, Glenn Lal, how you doing? Mr. Lal loves you a lot, although he seems like a bully. He's not a bully. He's a good man. I'm going to go ask him for a raise in a very short while because I have some things to do for some very poor people out there. So he's going to say, but Gildarie! And then he's going to push his hands into his pocket and let's see how that goes. So in the meantime, it is the Wake Up Guyana show. You could get a copy of this. You could review or look back at it, a copy of this program here on Kaieteur Radio, on Facebook, and you could also watch on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio live stream. So overseas, Florida, New York, wherever, if I miss you guys, forgive me. All across the Caribbean, Europe, our neighbors, Suriname, Trinidad, Brazil, Venezuela, and of course our beautiful people right across these lands. And today is a Teacher's Day. A good day to you people. You guys take care, stay safe, open your mouth, don't say it. This is not about the government, it's about you. It's about your life, it's about our country, it's about the future of our children. Let us make a better day for them, a better world, according to Michael Jackson. Is this a better world, he says? Make it a better world.
Yes, make it a better world. So until then, you guys take care, be safe. We are going to be back with you tomorrow, hopefully. If not, tomorrow, Raj runs it with Riaz.
Raj will do Hindi tomorrow too.
Yes.
Tropical delight, the flavor tasting right, pure taste and pure delight. Orange apple, cranberry, fruit punch, mango, yes sir, high in energy. Jumping up every day, and I jumping up every night. I think it's back and it's pure taste, pure delight. Energy to unload, behind a truck down the road, the taste going to explode. Tropical delight, pure taste.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.